All right, well, hi. We are at the top of the hour. Thanks everybody for joining. My name is Allison Ellis. I have been in the Sightline ecosystem for about 19 years, and today we are going to talk about the enterprise marketplace. I am going to present today with my esteemed colleague, Jesse Overly, who I am sure some of you are familiar with at least. But Jesse is fundamentally the brains behind the enterprise marketplace, and he's going to show us how it works. I guess fundamentally, there are three reasons why I want to have this discussion and what I want you to get out of today's time together. One is I want you to understand why we created the enterprise marketplace. I want you to understand how to use it. And then most importantly, I want you to understand how to get involved. I'm going to start today's session with actually a disclaimer. Um, Fundamentally, there is an awesome marketplace that Infor has called the Infor Marketplace. The Infor Marketplace is driven by Infor and has some awesome applications that apply to all of Infor's portfolio. It is great. I highly recommend you using it. There's really two reasons why we said, hey, Infor Marketplace is amazing, but there's two things missing that we wanted to give the Sightline community. Thing one is we wanted the Sightline community to have what I would call a consumer grade experience. So just like you're used to, we wanted a way for you to be able to go to a website, have interest in something, buy it on a credit card, download it, and auto provision it into your Sightline instance within a matter of minutes. The second thing that was really, really important to us is we now know that Sightline is a big and growing ecosystem. And a lot of clients are out there just looking for what I'm going to call the quick wins. What are the easy things? Surely I need a data view for this, or I need a widget for this, or a workflow for this. Before I create my own, surely somebody out there has done this before. A, have they? B, can I just use that? C, what else are other people using Sightline doing to enhance their ecosystem? So we wanted to have kind of a vehicle for those quick win items. Most of the things on the Infor marketplace are kind of big applications. So we just thought, hey, wouldn't this be nice? One place for Sightline customers to go where you could see what other Sightline clients are doing, what applications they have used, and kind of one place to kind of look at everything that's out there. Hence kind of the birth of the enterprise marketplace. We got together with a couple of Infor partners got together and some people who are using Sightline today and said, yeah, I think there's a need for this in the ecosystem right now. Let's do it. So fundamentally on your screen, you see a QR code that'll give you a direct link to Enterprise Marketplace. The backend is a Shopify site. Here's just kind of some of the things that you're going to see and learn about on today's session. You're going to see this one-stop shopping. You're going to be able to see some integrated solutions with Sightline. You'll be able to see some add-ons that you can buy with your credit card and put in your environment within seconds. You're going to see a resource hub with access to training or training that you can actually purchase. You're going to see an opportunity to put in features. If you don't see something on the enterprise marketplace, but you sure would like it there, you're going to learn how to request a feature. You will be able to see all kinds of integrations that folks have already done within the Sightline ecosystem that you're welcome to leverage. And then fundamentally, you'll see a section that'll show you kind of what's new. The goal with this and what Jesse is doing is this is his full-time role. He actually has developers that are also a part of this, but it is whole goal is to ensure that every week, every month, we are putting more and more out on the marketplace to make it easier for Sightline customers to consume and look at and review. Last but not least, I think the kind of catalyst with the enterprise marketplace is the idea is it's an open market. So meaning, right, if you have things that you've done with Sightline, Cloud Suite Industrial, that you're like, hey, maybe other people would be interested in it. Absolutely, it could be a vehicle if you ever wanted to put it out there and sell it or see if others are interested in it that we could actually talk about. So I want it to be or we want it to be really this cool one-stop shopping for Sightline. And we want it to grow and kind of be the cornerstone so that you can build out and optimize in a fast, consumer-like world. So now what I was going to do is actually hand it over to Jesse. Jesse is actually going to show you the enterprise marketplace, walk you through a couple things that are on there, and kind of show you if you were to buy something on a credit card, what that experience would be like. So Jesse, if you want to share your screen and give us a walk through the enterprise marketplace, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Allison, you might have to release that. There you go.
Yep, done.
Okay, hey guys. So yeah, some of you guys might know me, but for those of you who have not, or this might be your first time, I've been around N4 and Sightline as an end user for about 14 years. You know, as Allison stated, you know, as a customer when I was there, I would go to Sun Conference and I would mingle with other manufacturers, right? I would sit at the table. Yeah, I would walk around all the partner solutions of all their new stuff that they would have, but I also would look forward to sitting down with manufacturers and say, how are you solving this problem? How are you doing this? How are you doing that? It's probably the most benefit you get out of going to Sun Conference. But now we bring that back to what we would call modern technology, right? Which is, I want to be able to, that happens once a year. I go back to my storefront, my boss comes to me and says, hey, you know, how do we solve this little problem? Might be a small problem, might be a big problem, right? We have companies from 20 employees all the way up to hundreds of employees. So, you know, every solution is small, medium, large, extra large, huge project. But in the end, we're just looking to fill gaps. You know, the out of the box Sightline can't do everything for every little unique business model that everybody has, right? Everybody has differentiators that make them different. But how do we go find those? You know, you could take your boss's request, you can go search internally, you can go search in for, and you can reach out to your business partner, which a lot of times will have solutions for that as well, or, you know, they can make it. But what we wanted to do was offer up our partners to be able to put some of their solutions with everybody else, right? To be able to have that one place that Allison's talking about, that you can go search and see, has somebody already done this before? It's that conversation across the table that you would have had at Sun, but in a marketplace. That's really what our goal is to bring that to light and for you to be able to get it a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, and take it from there. So let me kind of dive into it. And excuse my voice, I've been kind of battling some stomach flu all week long, so but I'm getting better. All right, so if you were to scan that QR code, it would launch you right into here. You do not have to be a signed up user just to browse this, right? So you can just come out here, you can look around, you can explore. We encourage you to do that, right? And as Allison stated, I'll reiterate, we want ideas, right? We want things you're looking for. I'll scour the partner channel for those solutions. I'll look at, you know, at any of the partners and what we can provide. Again, most people have already asked for it over 30 years. We might have changed technologies, might have changed software, but in the end, the solution's still the same. It just might need a little bit of upgrade or tweaking. So the first thing I want to show you, let me put down my little glasses here, is to be able to look at integrated solutions, right? So as you can see here, we have a lot of partners inside of here, right? We have Solutions X. They have plenty of products that you can browse and search for, right? So they would look at Channel X. In this case, some of these software applications require to be gathered, those requirements, I should say. Got my words mixed up. So what we would do here is you would request a quote. And Enterprise Marketplace team will take that request. We will go out to Solutions X. Hey, this customer X would like you guys to engage them, and they're interested in your channel X. And if you need to see a brochure, you can click on the brochure, read that brochure. You didn't have to go anywhere else, right? That's a lot of the obstacle if anybody's ever searched the internet to go look for solutions. One partner has this list of solutions, another partner has this solution, right? We all kind of specialize in micro verticals, but a lot of those verticals cross over everywhere. So this would be how that would happen: is a request for quote would go out, Solutions X would contact you, and you would just start working from there, right? In this case, we would look at Salesforce integration from HubCore, right? Everybody is familiar with Salesforce, right? Well, HubCore has an integration to that. A lot of these customers that we engage every day, they bring extra applications with them, right? Yeah, I want to keep my Salesforce. You guys have a decent CRM, but we love our Salesforce. We don't want to give it up, right? Well, you need an integration. So this again would do a request for quote. It would go out to HubCore. HubCore would engage with you guys there, right? So as you can see, we've listed plenty of products here. Maybe it's you need an advanced shipping solution. Decision has SureShip, right? Pick, pack, ship is okay inside of Sightline. Maybe that's what you started with. You didn't want to introduce even more advanced stuff when you bought the product, but now you want to take advantage of some more advanced shipping solutions. You're interested in SureShip. So you could browse by category is basically what I'm getting at, right? Integrated solutions, analytics, customer service, right? So if I looked at manufacturing as an example, it's going to pre-filter anything that we've tagged as manufacturing, right? Maybe it's like Allison stated, it's a simple data view, right? Infor does have a great marketplace, right? But those are for larger applications and solutions. And you're going to see some of those products that are at Infor over here on Enterprise Marketplace or vice versa, right? But maybe what about the small stuff that you need, right? This is where we're trying to fill those little gaps, right? A simple data view, right? So yeah, you can hide a field, you can relabel a field, but IT staffs are shrinking little by little each day with companies. We just need a simple data view to solve our problem. I don't have anybody internally to be able to build that. Do you have it? Or do you need it? Ask us. We'll see what we can do to get it for you, right? So it could be by industry. It could be by the business need itself, right? So you could search that way. But what about the real search, right? So Allison had stated like training, right? So all of our partners have training, right? They have courses, they have one-on-one training, they have all of those, so I encourage all partners, let's get together at Enterprise Marketplace as well and put those in there. But in this case, maybe it's a 290-minute course, right, that you need, or maybe you need ETL training or any one of those things. So as you can see, I can type in a search. Like Allison stated, we're trying to bring modern ease of use. You're used to Google, you're used to mobile apps, all of those. Be able to search for anything that you might need and it filter for you, right? So I typed in service and it brought back anything to do with service. As we add more and more products, right now, I think I have over 200 products inside of Enterprise Marketplace. Allison stated we're adding more and more as we go. I have 10 lined up that I got to get loaded, right? I've just been backlogged with all kinds of stuff. And we are trying to get those loaded up. So my goal is to get more and more things up there. You know, I'd love to be by the end of the year to have 500 things in there. Right? Again, it's for the customer's ease of use to find stuff that was pre-built or already been solved and get that into the hands get that into the hands of the customer a lot faster, right? Because it's already been built. We've already done it before, right? All these amazing partners with all their 30 years of experience, they've done it, right? So let's try to bring that to the forefront, right? It's kind of like surfacing all this stuff to the top. So I think that, you know, is pretty much what I wanted to cover. Did we, you know, Allison stated we got request a feature. I did want to show you one other thing, but request a feature, right? It's just a fill-in form. Tell me what you're looking for. We'll see if we can find it, right? You need training. Fill this in. Somebody will be in contact with you to get some specific training that you might need. So let's say what happens if I do purchase something. What happens, right? I showed you the request for quote, right? Where that is something that we need more information. There's some variables like multi-site that might play a part into that solution, all of those, right? So that's okay. Everybody understands quoting process. But what if, like a data view, you said, Jesse, it's faster and quicker for me to get something that's already done, right? Well, let me go over here to my account. So I'm in incognito mode because it knows who I am, but I'm going to log in. So I've established a login and I'll put in my lovely password here. Going to send my email. You can spam my email all you want now. 690. So it sent me a quick code. Now I'm in. Now I've purchased some items for test sakes. We have a thing called a performance pack. Performance pack basically gives you unlimited access to all of our items like data views, themes, widgets, some pre-built reports that might export out to a data view, things like that, right? It's not every extension, obviously. It's not every partner's applications or anything like that. These are the small nuggets of things. I think I got like 70 data views in there. I have 50 widgets in there, 10 themes in there. Maybe you like color instead of N4's white, what they call alabaster. Maybe you want some color. We have those. So I've subscribed to the performance pack. I have it. Now I get an email and it says, hey, Jesse, you have access to digital content. Again, these are pre-built solutions. It's going to separate them out by category. And it's going to give me a zip file that I can download for any one of these, right? And in that zip file is going to contain the XML or XMLs to import, whether you're using that metadata transport or FormSync, and it's going to give you the detailed instructions on how to install that in your environment. So if you're a customer, you follow the instructions, you're good to go. But as Allison had kind of stated, we're here. If you need help, there's an email, help, I think, or is it help or support at enterprisemarketplace.net? My brain's a little foggy from not eating, but so we're pretty responsive on the emails that come through. You need help, we're here to help, right? Everybody has to learn, and like I said, some customers have ITs departments, some customers just can't afford an IT administration. we're going to help you either way on how to run through the first iteration of an install if you need it. If it's an extension, we're going to have a service team install that in your environment. And, there's no need for any of you to be able to do that. But from the performance packs and those small nuggets of solutions, you can do a self-service model and just install it yourself. So I think I've answered or went over everything I had on my agenda, Allison. Do we have any questions or anything?
So I
We do
see,
have a few. Sorry,
Sure.
Allison, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's help@enterprisemarketplace.net. We can put that
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, go for it, Stephanie.
Yeah, no, sorry, we did have a couple of questions come in. The first one is, if we have questions, who do we reach out to? Should they just reach out to help at Enterprise Marketplace, or is there someone specific they should contact?
Yeah, I think I would recommend help@enterprisemarketplace.net. .net is important. But fundamentally, if you reach out there, you'll get an answer or a response within 24 hours.
Perfect. All right. And then second question, if we want to see something here on Enterprise Marketplace and we don't see it, is there a way to ask for it? What's the best way to do that?
Absolutely. So two options. One, you can use this request a feature, which is embedded in the enterprise marketplace. Option two is you can just send an email at help@enterprisemarketplace.net and happy to give you the information needed in order to put something up on this site. It's fairly easy, and assuming we can usually get it up within a couple of days.
Perfect. And then one last question so far. Technology can be crazy. Sometimes downloads don't work like they're supposed to. What happens if a download doesn't work? Is there support for that? Can we re-download it? What happens?
The good news is we have, in essence, 24/7 access to help@enterprisemarketplace.net. So that is kind of throughout the entire guide that you get to download is a link to that email address. And if you send whatever you're experiencing to that, then Jesse will get involved and work with you. We have other folks that are kind of staffing this that can also get on and involved and help you. So absolutely willing to help, and it's kind of part of the whole, I guess, benefit of leveraging the enterprise marketplace.
Awesome.
And Allison, I
We
did have that happen the other day, right? A link went bad or
Mhm.
something, and they reached out to me, and short-term fix, I sent them the file directly, right? Long-term fix, I say long-term meaning, late at night, I sent them the file directly. And then I also fixed the link inside of the marketplace. Obviously, clerical errors will happen every once in a while, but
Yeah.
easy fix.
okay.
I think that's another thing. Like, we launched this officially at Sun in California this year. So we've been testing with various clients and partners ever since. We've probably done, in around 20 kind of client engagement discussions around this. So we are still, I'm gonna call it on the newer side. So yeah, give us some grace. If you see anything, ping us. We'll get it fixed immediately.
Awesome. We've got several other questions. We have time for those?
Yep.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah. All right. The first one, what is the pricing structure? Are users charged per listing?
Oh, if you want to actually post something on the site,
That's what I'm assuming.
if that
Are
is the price,
users charged per listing? That's what I'm thinking.
so well, fundamentally, no. So it is very different if that question comes from somebody who's interested in or used to the way Inform Marketplace works. We are different. We want everyone to be able to post. So there is no charge for posting on this site. We do have a little bit of criteria just to make sure what we are offering is going to work and that we have referenceable clients using that said solution. But absolutely no charge for posting things up here.
Thank you. And they did clarify that was what they were asking. So good. The next one is there a way to see a demo of available data views? That way I can see if it would be a solution for the client's needs.
Yes. So a couple different things and we're working on there. Fundamentally, if you put in a request, if you want to see it into help, that same email address, we can get on a demo and show it. We are also working on, I don't know if Jesse's going to pull it up or not, but we are working on, there's screenshots on the majority of those data views, so you can kind of get a sense, but we're also working with having kind of video walkthroughs on a lot of those screenshots that you can actually go and interact with. We just don't have it for all of them yet, but there are some that are out there that we can kind of showcase to you. You're gonna be able to do it, you think? Oh, see, there's a little demo. So here's a data view and report. There's a link to a demo. This is a demo environment of that data view report. And you can come in here and kind of move around, kind of see what it does. So the goal is to do this for all of them right now. Some of them have this.
Yeah, we have to keep working on those, so.
Mhm.
Okay. And one more question. A couple of people had the same question. So there is no charge to use this platform.
No charge to use this platform. Now, the stuff on there has the price, right? For the items that you want to purchase, but posting stuff up here, it is free to post.
And
then
there's no subscription to use to just to log into enterprisemarketplace.net. It's
nope,
free to use.
free to use, and you don't even have to log in. So if you want to browse anonymously, you can. I mean, we really, truly, maybe it's silly, but we really wanted this to be like the Amazon for Sightline and just make it easy for all of us to accelerate what we're being, how we're using Sightline and our, just across the board. The other thing is I do see, I know this isn't necessarily relevant to Sightline, well, it is, but I do see a question around partners, and if there's partner relationships, if all of that is honored as part of this. So if you have questions there, I'm happy to have some additional dialogue to kind of describe how that happens. But that is important to us and something that is honored 100% throughout all of the engagement on the enterprise marketplace.
Okay. And there was one more question kind of in that similar vein. Can third-party consultants participate
Ab-
in
abs-
enterprise marketplace?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're interested in doing that, and maybe this is naive or silly, but I think too, if there's Sightline users and who are out there that have built something over time that, want to put something up here, I'd entertain that discussion as well. So, yeah, absolutely. Third-party consultants and current Sightline customers have maybe built something cool. Let's talk about it and figure out a way to get it up here.
Okay. One more question. If someone is interested in putting a product that they have invented on this, who should they reach out to?
Let's just do the same email address just to make it easy. Let's do that help@enterprisemarketplace.net. If we just use that, we will monitor and respond to everything pretty quickly. I love all these questions. I'm excited you guys are excited. I think I'm excited to see if there's traction, if this is helpful to everybody. We certainly hope it is.
One more question. Is commission payable to Godlin when a service or product is purchased?
Meaning does um potentially. I don't know. I think it kind of depends on the situation. So, Jeff, if you want to send something to help at Enterprise Marketplace, we can talk about what you're thinking, and if there's something there that we want to talk about further. We're happy to have that dialogue. All right. Well, I think that answered all of them, right, Stephanie?
As I just went back through them to make sure we got them all, we did.
Awesome. Well, I love the engagement. We're ending right on time, which I love. Appreciate everybody's interest. Seriously, ask us any questions. We'll be open, transparent, and let's see if this helps everybody out there that are engaged in the Sightline community. Appreciate the time and talk to you later.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.